How's it going, guys? My name is Owen Crook, and today we are going to be looking at the SKYZONE SKY02S V Plus FPV goggles. We're going to start out with a quick unboxing of the goggles, and then I'll leave you guys with my opinions and a little bit of DVR footage straight from these. Now, you can pick these up for $400 from either Get FPV or Banggood, and I believe you can find them for $375 depending on where you look and how hard you try to find them. Now, when we first open the package, we've got the hard case with the goggles and a lot of other accessories. We've got the SKYZONE goggle manuals, which comes in English and Chinese. We've also got the SKYZONE sticker, which is an absolute necessity. And we have a lot of adapter cables that we'll go through here, 5 in total, as well as two 2 dBi linear antennas. Now, the coolest thing that comes with these goggles, in my opinion, is the power cable that lets you run an XT60 all the way to a barrel connector. We also have a Futaba data cable for head tracking. We have a WFLY data cable. We have a JR data cable. We also have a AV cable, which lets you run video out to almost any monitor or television you wanted to run to. Now, all of those come right with the goggles. You don't have to pay anything extra to get all that. It's a huge plus, in my opinion, that some of the other competitors' goggles don't come with. Now, let's jump into the hard case. Yes, that's right. It is a hard case. It is just like the Fat Shark case, and it will protect your goggles against a lot of damage. Now, when we first open this guy up, you see the faceplate and the goggles right away. Now we'll go ahead and get the faceplate out of the way so we can get a better look at the goggles, which are packed nice and tight in this sturdy foam. Now, right off the bat, these things look amazing. I love the glossy finish, and I really think that they will not only work well, but look excellent. We've also got a little piece of sticky foam here, not sure what for, and it looks like some extra foam pieces if you want to install the faceplate. We've got a softer foam and a hard foam, and we have an extra head strap here if you're looking for a little more support. This one looks like it has 3 connections. Looking to be used with the faceplate. So let's take a closer look at the goggles and some of the features that come on there. Now, right away, I just got to say these feel great. They are so light, they are so clean, and so crisp, and I really, really like them. So we have 2 antenna ports for the built-in diversity. We have a front-facing camera. We have a bunch of buttons on top. Now, if the camera will focus here, we'll talk a little more about each of those. On the left-hand side, we have the buttons to control your DVR. We have the record button to record video. We also have the photo if you want to snap a screenshot, as well as the camera button, which shows the front-facing camera. On the right, we have up, down, and track, which allows you to navigate through your menus. Now, if we flip to the bottom, starting on the left, we have the tracking out for any of your head tracking needs, whether it's JR, WFly, and whatnot. We have our IPDs. We also have a lot going on the right-hand side with the HDMI in. We have USB and an SD card, as well as AV in, out, and headphone out. So if you want to run audio there, you can do that as well. Now, one thing I really like is these head straps. It feels nice and durable, and you can see it's got that little battery pocket on the side. They're also removable, because I know custom Fat Shark straps are kind of becoming a big deal. So if you're into that, you can check that out, or you can even swap on this extra head strap with a 3rd piece in case you want more support on your head. I don't think that's necessary, as these are super light. So I'm going to go ahead and get the faceplate installed, and then we'll go ahead and check them out and see how they work. Now, right off the bat, I felt a little dumb here, but I kind of think this is a neat little feature. The SKYZONE goggles are actually 16:9 screens, so I fly with a 4:3 camera, So it actually stretches the image a little bit when I'm actually looking, but the DVR actually records the image that the camera is outputting and not the stretched image that I see on the screens. So while I was hoping to be able to show you some 16:9 video here, it ended up coming out in 4.3 or 4:3, which I thought was just a neat little correction it made. Now, my overall experience with these goggles is I really like them. They get excellent video off of the built-in diversity receiver, and it was so much better than any of the other diversity receivers I've tried. Now, one thing I do notice about the DVR is that it really likes to skip frames, and I'm not sure if that's a faulty component of the SKYZONE goggles or if that's just something that you see in a lot of DVR. I know the Fat Shark DVRs are famously known to drop frames, but from what I've seen in my little bit of time of playing with the DVR here is that it does it very frequently. So that's one of the only negatives that I have with these. When I was recording this, I was on 25 milliwatt, and so I didn't have a ton of range, but I was able to make it pretty far without having any video issues on my side. Now, just to say it, DVR does not look nearly as good as everything looks in the goggles. You probably can't tell, but the SKYZONE goggles look 100 times better than any Fat Shark goggles I have ever flown with. I want to say it feels like I'm looking at an HD TV on the screens instead of looking at like a projector on a distant wall. They just seem very clean, very new. It doesn't feel like I'm looking at a blurry little screen. It feels like I'm looking at something that's bright and vibrant. Now, the colors may look off or different to you, but I have spent very little time going through and playing with the colors and the sharpness and all that. But there's a wonderful menu interface that you can go through, change all of your color settings. It flows really well, and with the buttons right on top, you're not clicking randomly. It's pretty straightforward and easy to walk through and change all of your settings, which I thought was nice. Another thing I really liked about the goggles is the fit. For me, Fat Shark goggles do not fit my face, and so having a goggle that fit no problem and it just felt so nice on my face the first time was absolutely amazing. I've tried goggles all the way from the Attitude V3 all the way up to the HD3s, and none of them fit me right, and none of them have an IPD that goes quite wide enough for me, so I always have slight blurry edges whenever I was flying on Fat Sharks. But these goggles fit not only in my eyes, but they fit the shape of my face really well. And that was one thing that I noticed as soon as I put them on, is just how well they fit. And the goggles are incredibly light. It almost feels as if you're not wearing anything, especially if you take advantage of the power adapter and run a LiPo down to your pocket instead of on the goggles. Overall, I am a huge fan of these SKYZONE goggles. If you're looking for something to replace your Fat Sharks, I highly recommend checking them out. It gets me excited to see that other companies are looking into the goggle market and that there's new products coming out every day that are getting better and better every single time. So I highly recommend you give these goggles a chance. Thanks for watching.